So, question. Let's say the U.S. has already done a ton of damage, right, in Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. Would it be a detriment for us to leave, and then the people are like, okay, there's no military presence here now. Let's go get them back. Is that realistic?
Well, I mean, technically in Iraq, their parliament has already asked us to leave. They've asked everybody to leave. You know, they don't want any foreign presence. Why? Because they don't want a war anymore. They're just starting to rebuild their country. And now we're going and starting some shit with Iran. You know what I'm saying? And where are we going to fight that? We're not going to fight that here. We're going to fight that over there. And that's why it's so easy for us to just turn a blind eye on it. You know,
It's also a very interesting central policy for a campaign because it's not the most glamorous one.
Right.
And so it's pretty noble that she like built her campaign off something like this. I mean, there's no other candidates are doing that, correct?
no.
No, and she's going up against the military-industrial intelligence complex. I don't know, you probably know about the Eisenhower farewell speech and when he left office in 1961.
Are you a big conspiracy guy, Steve? Don't lie to me. A little bit.
I mean, my feeling is that, first of all, the term conspiracy theory is a CIA. So that shows how much
you answered my question.
All right. But I think, you should look at all the evidence and just make decisions, So I don't close the door on anything until I've looked at the evidence and evaluated the evidence. But, I mean, you can call Eisenhower a conspiracy theorist. He said, beware the rise of the military-industrial complex in 1961. Okay, so here we are, 60 years later. The military-industrial complex is extremely powerful in this country.
Can you simplify on what that is?
The military-industrial complex is really what it comprises is all the military contractors, right? So you have military contractors and Boeing, General Dynamics, all these
Lockheed Martin,
Raytheon right here in Boston, and they're spread all over the country.
The big military companies.
Not by accident. I mean, they're put in every congressional district so that they can get. If you want to cut them, then you're threatening the bread and butter of this congressional district. So, and I add the intelligence aspect too, because you have the CIA. I mean, the CIA is actively involved in Syria, and Tulsi has called them to task on that. So they're actually supporting Al Qaeda in Syria because they're against Assad, and Assad's a Russian ally. So that's the only reason is because Assad's a Russian ally, and because we want to have control of the natural resources or use their country to put our pipelines through or whatever. It's not really anything to do with democracy or bringing freedom to people in the Middle East.
Well, real quick, can you just rewind slightly about Eisenhower's speech and how that ties into what's going on now?
Well, Eisenhower just was... So obviously this problem was ongoing already, so Eisenhower recognized it in 1961. It's something
he realized that, all these big military companies have a pretty strong influence on our political system.
Right. They influence, they'll contribute to campaigns. They have influence on politicians. If you run for Congress, if you're elected, on day one, you're starting on your reelection campaign because it's only 2 years down the road. So if you don't have a war chest of money, you're not going to be able to run again. So you need to get that support from these contractors, or normally you do. I mean, Tulsi has refused to take any contributions from PACs, from corporations. So she is fairly unique. I think other candidates have done that as well.
How does she make all her money for her campaign?
Just individual small contributions. We're all volunteers. I mean, she has a very, very small paid staff, but basically it's all volunteers. And her supporters.
So you guys really love this woman.
That's right.
Well, it's not so much her personally. It's the movement.
I think she's pretty cool though. She's always like aloha.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's that aloha is a Hawaiian.
Yeah, I know. She's slick.
She actually was born in American Samoa, but grew up in Hawaii. And her mother is like from Michigan or someplace, and her father's from Hawaii, I guess, originally. But aloha means it means hello and goodbye, but it really also means I'm open to you, I respect you, I'm listening to you. So that's
and it
the
also
difference.
means love.
Hey, Daisy, aloha.
Aloha, right. So we joke about it a lot because, I mean, it is, everyone says aloha all the time in the campaign, but it's not it's just a message of being open and receptive, but not taking any crap either. So it's like you can be tough and you can have aloha. Right.
Well, the way that she puts it is, aloha is very central to her because like I said, it does mean love. And when you take care of things that you love, right? And the people that you love, And so that's why she always tells everybody, I'm coming to you with aloha because I care for you. I love you. I want to take care of you. I want to, I want to bring us forward as a country, like that's,
right. But you could also have aloha towards your so-called enemies. So for instance, she gets a lot of flack because when she went to Syria on a fact-finding mission a few years ago, she met with Bashar al-Assad, right? And people are saying, "Oh, you're cozying up to dictators. You're enabling them by meeting with them." And she's saying, "No, I'm first of all on a fact-finding mission." She was there. She met with the Syrian opposition, and then she had an invitation to meet with Assad as well. And she said, "I'm going to meet with him." Just to find out, from his perspective, right? Doesn't mean I agree with him. In fact, she's called him a brutal dictator many times. But this
is what she gets a lot of flack for, right?
Yeah.
This is where the whole Russian asset thing comes into play.
Right. But if you don't talk to your enemies, if you can't negotiate with your enemies, what's the point, right? The whole point is communicating with people you disagree with. And she's for finding that small ground of agreement. Even if it's like 2%, you can agree with someone on something, you can build on that. So she is against the whole partisan left versus right, Republican versus Democrat. She sees that as somewhat of a false dichotomy that's been manufactured because it has a political function, but it really is that people are much closer than you'd think based on political party affiliation. That really the division is more about the wealthy, the powerful, and the wealthy elite making these decisions that are costing all the rest of us a lot of money. So that's why you find, like in her campaign, you find all these different kinds of people coming together: Republicans, libertarians, leftists, Trotskyists. You find like all kinds of people, a really interesting mix of people, and that's something that really struck me when I got involved with this campaign.